What's up? Thank you for watching today's episode of Hurry Up and Wait. I am your host today, James Cooley. We're going to do something a little bit different, but I wanted to introduce our guest of honor today, which would be Sergeant Terry Pickett, if you want to come onto the screen. And then we'll have an honorary co-host, Eli Cooley, who is my brother. So today we're going to attempt to just break par together as a team and see if we can do something in golf. And then we're going to also interview Sergeant Pickett about his experience in the military, and hopefully we'll have just a good day. And because Josh isn't here, we're going to do a little tee box flip to see who gets the extra shot, so we can have our 4 people. So at every hole, we're going to just flip a tee, and whoever it lands on, whoever it points to, they get 2 shots for that hole on every ball. So I'll do the flip. Oh, and I'll start off with the 2, and then we'll go from there after that.
Works for me.
So I'm doing a little bit different of a strategy. I removed all my clubs that get me in trouble. So I'm hoping that even now I can get it in the fairway.
So all the clubs that you don't normally hit.
No, I took off. I took out the big dog. So I'm gonna hopefully put something in the fairway, so then you guys can really let the big dog eat.
It ain't gonna make a whole lot of difference.
Well, as long as Eli's playing well, I think we'll be okay.
I don't know. I forgot my ibuprofen.
Oh, I brought some actually. So I was like, this is something I'm gonna need. So let's see if I can hit the ball today.
I turned my phone off too, so I won't.
Oh, nope. I removed all my clubs that get me in trouble. I removed all my clubs that get me in trouble.
Got my Ultra 4 cheapo.
Nice.
What the fuck did I do with a tee? And you're filming this too? Nice.
There we go.
Wow.
We got a player on our team.
Wow.
That'll ride nicely. And it's on like, oh yeah, and it's rolling. And it hit that hill nice
there you go.
too.
There's our first ball.
There we go. There you go.
Yeah, see, I don't know either. There's like...
Off the toe. All right. So, okay, I'm here with Sergeant Pickett. And the first question while we play the first hole is tell us about your childhood background. And I'll grab this ball for you.
What background?
Just your childhood background. What led you into the military, and why did you choose the Army versus anything else?
Well, my background, I was born in Plainville, Michigan, and I've lived there my entire life. Why I chose the Army is that's something we played Army when we were kids.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. And then I got my ancestor, great grandparent, great uncle, my grandfather was in World War I. I had 3 uncles in World War II. One died in France. He was buried in France.
Was that during Normandy, or?
It was a couple days afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, they made it, and I kind of looked at the map. It was like 2 or 3 days afterwards, and he was further down. They were heading south. They were the 29th Infantry Division, and they were headed south, and so they got killed there. But anyway, and then uncle was in Air Force in Vietnam.
Okay.
Or Korea, a cousin in Vietnam in the Navy, and a cousin in the Air Force. Well, actually, I think they're both in the Navy. And a cousin in the Air Force, but he didn't go to Vietnam. He was just stationed in the States. So, but anyways, kind of a military history for the family. Sure. So that's what made me join. And after I graduated high school, I worked couple different jobs here and there. Couldn't really figure out what I was going to do. So,
yeah,
the Army was it. So
yep.
That's how it happened.
That makes sense. And what year did you join?
1979.
1979.
Before you were born.
Before either one of us were born, yes.
In the 60s, right? So on TV, there was Vietnam every night.
Yeah.
On the TV, Walter Cronkite, stuff like that. So.
Got the red marker up there. I don't know if that's 150.
That's 100. So I'm looking at 124-ish yards. So I'm gonna throw this one on there. You want me to go first?
You might as well.
Show you how it's done?
Like your shoes.
Thanks. I normally don't wear shoes, so.
I know.
Nice.
Off to the left a little bit, but that was way too far. Well, no, that's actually pretty nice. Okay, so yeah, it's hitting about 125-ish. That's my 9-iron.
Your 9? Okay. I don't have a 9, so I got a 8.
Did you forget it somewhere?
In the woods at some point.
Nice. That's great. That's a good shot. It moves us forward.
If I can actually get a good connection on. Nope.
No. All right, cool. Hey, you got us here, so let's see if I can get one more.
I think about it too much.
See if I can hit a little bit straighter.
Hey, you got that first shot was pretty awesome, man. Oh, look at that.
It's not going to go as far, though.
Yeah, but you're right. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was the line.
yeah, you had the line there.
So you were saying that you were influenced by the Vietnam War quite a bit.
Yeah, I might have said I had my, family history of service, and then
Oh, wait, no, yours is right
watching
there.
the Vietnam
That's
War and on the news every night. When you're kids, you play arm. I don't know if you guys probably
Yeah,
did. My generation
definitely did.
That's when we had to go outside and
Yep.
play. And
We were there too, always in the woods.
yeah.
So then, you first joined in 1979, and that was active duty, right?
Active duty, yeah.
I'm gonna try to just give it a little bit of a bump and run, and see what we can do here with that. Let's drip down a little bit more.
Oh, nice.
Real nice.
Okay, I'll take it.
I haven't even got the right stand. There's got to be a certain way to stand and stuff, everything, right?
Hey,
Should have went with the putter.
It's still rolling.
it's still rolling. That's not bad. I mean, if I had that, I would still be okay with that one.
Yeah, figure at least going to be 2 shots, right?
Yeah.
Either way, what you do, right?
Right, exactly.
For me, anyway.
For me, typically, it'd be another 3 shots here.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just 2 to get close, and then I got to try to get it in. Nice.
Nice. That's not bad.
See?
Just try to get it in even closer then. I don't know if I can. That was probably the best shot you're going to see of me today. Nope. Okay. Cool.
Still not bad, though.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Sergeant Pickett, sorry.
You want me?
Do you want me to call you Terry or Sergeant Pickett?
It's up to you. Yeah, it's up to you. Whatever. I'm all used. Once you're in the military, the rank and name, right? Or
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Or hey, you. Or...
Yeah, well, active duty. When I went in the guard, then the guys are calling each other by their first name and stuff. Like first sergeants and stuff. I'm going like, dude, this ain't right.
Yeah, I only had that experience, but I've heard that said many times.
I mean, you go from active to National Guard, and it's a really cultural shock.
Yeah.
It meant when I went back in the Guard, it was in the 80s, so it was nothing like what it is today.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I first, even before basic, when they brought us in the National Guard, a bunch of the guys were getting ready for AT, and they were talking about like bonfire and bringing beers and stuff. And I'm like, so it's like
Nice. Oh, that was so close.
that was my bad. I was talking on a swing.
No,
It's like
I'm not that. It ain't gonna affect me. I'm bad no matter what.
All right, let's see if I can get this.
You want me to move that?
You're fine. It gives me a good target to.
Yeah, I mean it's lined up right behind the hole.
Yeah, that was a good hit.
Got it. Oh, look at you.
Let's go. All right, we got par for our first hole. Okay, so you went to basic training still in the 70s,
Yeah. 79. November
79.
79.
and you went to Fort Leonard Wood,
Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
and that was an all-male basic training at that point, right?
Yeah, they had introduced. There was females that they started to. I think they started. It was like experimental. They had the mix, but I was a combat engineer, and
Okay.
that was before females were allowed to, be in combat units. So.
Yeah. So then, so what was your basic training then like? Because you had drill sergeants from Vietnam. That
Yeah,
served in
a lot of them were Vietnam veterans, and I didn't know at the time about PTSD. I didn't,
Right.
But my drill instructor was definitely PTSD.
Oh yeah.
First class actor.
Okay.
He would go nuts, man. He'd turn red and he's spitting and just get angry.
Oh, no
and
kidding.
You guys don't understand. I just now it's. I know
can see
the
it.
guy had some problems, right?
Man, was there like any triggers that would happen? He'd just snap, or?
Yeah, I think it's typical when people they mess up,
Yeah.
right? Because you don't know what's going
Right,
on.
for
You
sure.
totally don't know. You're totally lost. Everybody's thrown together. So he would get mad and he's like trying to not be an idiot about it, but looking back, he wanted to train because he's in
Yeah.
Vietnam, so he wanted to make sure you're doing the right
Right.
stuff. I mean, he didn't want to make you mad,
Yeah.
but I still respected him. But
Right,
it's like
for
crazy.
sure.
It's like basic training. It's crazy.
Yeah, right. You don't want to make a drill sergeant mad anyway.
No, you don't have to do anything. Say it look the wrong way, they're on you, right?
Right. I think that was probably my biggest downfall. I call it a downfall for basic training, is I learned the game quickly, so I didn't mess up. So I never did extra PT. Like I just learned how to follow the rules very quickly and just stay under the radar. And well, yeah, but like I knew the game.
You grab
and,
my ball.
Oh, I probably did. Yes, I have quite a few in my pocket. Yep, that's the one. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm looking around.
Flipping for the next one.
Yeah, we'll flip for the next one. Then I'll flip. Okay, you get
I
two
guess
shots.
It's my turn this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, see, my daughter's boyfriend put a dent in it.
Nice. Uh-oh.
I don't know if that's going to make any difference.
It does, but I don't think for us. Not for people like us.
You can hit it now. Okay, so. Well,
You made contact.
I made contact.
That's step one. Off the toe again. Oh, no. All right. I got to slow down.
I heard wood.
I removed all my clubs that get me in trouble. I heard trees. Oh, there it is on the
There
left
it
side.
is. Yep.
Okay, we got playable. We got to play something playable. This will be okay. Yep, yep. Go for it. Nice. Well, that's where I'm at, so it's fine. We're filming for a podcast.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, it's for veterans.
Veterans?
We are, yeah.
Yeah. I'm Navy.
Navy, nice.
Navy, go Army.
Yeah, go Army.
Oh, Army.
All Army, yeah.
You guys couldn't get in the Navy, huh?
Well, for me, being a young kid right out of high school, I had no idea what was going on. Of real world and everything. It was my first plane trip anywhere. And once we got there, they shuffled us in and fed us really well. And said, yeah, eat all these fatty cakes that you want. It won't bother you at all. And then they give us that pre-test to kind of gauge where you're at. And you're like, oh man, I shouldn't have eaten all that food. And then they load you on those cattle trucks. They just put your bags in front of you and then line you right up and shove you in.
They don't have those anymore.
They don't?
No.
Oh gosh. Some things that just the structure and ideas of training to where they have to break you down to build you back up, I feel it's lost now because of the kindler, gentler hearts and minds kind of feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, once they kicked us off of those and they said, line up there, you're like, I have no idea what's going on. And then they're like, eventually they're like, why aren't you guys using the dots that are painted on the ground to line up so that you're on a uniform? And I'm like, oh gosh. Some things that you're like, oh, in other circumstances you would have seen and noticed. But I was I remember I was a Delta Dragoon, and my senior first sergeant name was First Sergeant Alimo, Drill Sergeant Alimo, and I actually saw him first deployment in Taji when we were deployed. I guess we're gonna move forward. But I had no idea what to expect. James actually is the one who got me to join. He met with the recruiter ahead of time, and he got with me, and I think he got a bonus off of me for getting someone else to sign up. But he was like, "You're not really doing anything," because I was like, "I'm going to go to college, but I really don't know what I want to do."
Right.
And I'm like, "Yeah, this will help pay for college." And you start that way, and then you're like, "Well, it really turns into I want to serve my country too." They kind of build that up in you. Just telling them how you got me to join and got that bonus off of me and everything.
Got rank.
Yeah. But yeah, once we got there, like all the thoughts of not being physically fit or not gonna be able to like accomplish whatever the tasks they give you kind of goes out the window because you're just wide-eyed and have no idea what's going on. So muscle memory kind of takes over. And we never really had a problem with weapons qual. That came kind of natural. I don't know why. We used to play paintball and shoot BB guns, but nothing big on rifles. My parents didn't even have guns in the house, so it's like, I don't know. I guess we were easily moldable. But other than that, at that point, drill sergeants weren't actually allowed to put hands on you.
I got punched a lot by a drill sergeant. They would punch.
We would get every so often, like when we were doing push-ups, they try to make you, go off balance or kick a foot out or an arm out or something like that, and then be like, "Oh, he missed his push-up." Everyone starts all over again, that kind of thing, or the berating. But
Were they physical with you, Sergeant Pickett?
No, they never.
Okay.
They never were. They'd yell, but you didn't. I don't know. They intimidated you enough. I don't think they
Needed to.
I mean, I never seen anybody get hit or anything. I don't know. Whether they take them off by themselves or something, maybe. But I tried to just be quiet and try to do the right thing. But that always wasn't the.
What was it like getting off the bus for the first time, like in the drill sergeant, the shark? Did they do that for you guys?
We call ours cattle trucks.
Cattle trucks.
Yeah, they didn't do that. We got there of course, it was my first plane trip too.
Oh yeah.
Ever been on a plane, and we got there in the middle of the night, and they took us to the chow hall and they said what, and they told us about if your stomach gets upset, don't worry about it. That's just the food. You got to adjust to it or whatever and stuff, But and the reception station, but I don't remember when we, maybe I don't remember that part about once we were in a couple days into reception, and then I don't remember the drill sergeants doing the shark attack or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't remember it.
Right. New tactic. Oh, it's them.
Oh, it's them. Okay.
So we pick up the ball, throw it over there.
Sometimes if I don't hear anyone yell "4," I usually step on the ball, but I know it's kind of petty.
I just got that on recording for the.
That was
Off the toe a bit, but that gets us closer. Oh.
Bounce in nice.
Oh, membership bounce. Let's go.
Right back. Perfect. Line you right up. Oops.
That's
That
okay.
went
You get
work.
another one. Okay. No. Ah, you're good. Rolled out.
Thanks.
Nice. Nice.
Now,
So we're past basic training, and you just go right into active duty. Did you go to, was it Fort Campbell, or did you go right to Germany?
well, went to Fort Campbell first.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then, well, actually, I didn't know this till I got down there. The recruiter put me in for a hometown recruiter.
Oh yeah.
So I went back home for 30 days to work with
Oh, that's
recruiters.
nice.
I had no idea about that. they told me about it once I got down there. When we got ready to leave, I'm like, okay. Yeah, so
after basic training, after AIT, you got to go back home
for 30 days.
For 30 days, that's nice.
Yep. And then to Fort Campbell.
So, were you part of the 101st then?
Nope.
Okay.
So I thought that's where 101st was there, but I ended up in 20th Engineer Battalion.
Okay.
It was a force comm unit. So yeah, I didn't. A couple of guys that I went to basic with ended up down there too.
Oh yeah.
They were in 101st.
Oh man. Were you kind of a little bummed at first?
Yeah, because you want to be. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
Screaming Eagles and stuff, and all the history, but you can do it. You do what you're told.
Right. Right.
That's where I ended up. So.
And you spent some time. You spent some time at Fort Campbell, and then you went to Germany for 3 years.
Yeah, I was there about Fort Campbell for about a year and a half because
Okay.
I got married when I was home on leave, and then my wife got pregnant, so I got extended because 90 days after the birth. So I got my orders for Germany. When I got there, everybody's telling me, "Oh, you'll be here for 3-4. Nobody goes anywhere; they stay here." And I was there for a year, and they said, "Oh, you got orders for Germany." I'm like, "Okay, well." My wife's pregnant. They said, "Okay, well, 90 days. You get 90 days after the birth, and then they'll send you." So
Wow.
then I went over to December, went to Germany.
And that was just by yourselves then. Oh, that was during. You still had the Berlin Wall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what's the difference. People don't understand that was so much different, and we're still the Russians were the thing. So you were totally trained for fighting the Russians.
Right.
And when you're in Germany, they had areas where if something went down, you had this certain area you had to go to and cover this area, and they had the bridges all set up for the chambers in there for the explosives. And
Oh,
stuff.
yeah?
And yeah, it was like
Jeez.
Kind of like your broken arrow drills.
they call you alert in the middle of the night and stuff. You go in and
Your cycles of fire to maintain.
yep, it's all planned out. So that's why it still bugs me. This Ukraine thing is driving me crazy. The Russians are doing the same thing they've been doing since after World War II,
Yeah.
And these people forget about what the Russians are, what they're all about.
Oh, sit. All right. That's going to be a tough putt, so let's see if we can get inside that.
Right in the range where I just knocked it at.
Just like instead of hinging with your wrist, hit it like you're hitting a putter.
Well, this time I want to try to
Bump and run. Okay.
get it up, get some spin on the ball. But my problem is, I don't know. I just on my swing through or my follow through, I just have too much power on it.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to lighten that up a bit.
There you go. That's a great shot. Okay.
Nice.
Come on, go in. Oh. Nice. All right. I think that was a good one.
Oh yeah.
Come on. Sit. Woo!
See, there's my one good shot for the day. That you're going to play my ball on that shot. Yep.
There it is. All right.
Right back to normal. Oh, it's who I was at Fort Campbell though. Even I wasn't 101st. I still went to air assault school.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Because they were the 101st was air mobile air assault thing. That was
Yeah.
a big thing at Fort Campbell. That was still. I think there's only at the time there's only one other one that I think was in Hawaii or something, air assault school.
Oh yeah. I'm glad we didn't take that one. So that's like mostly jumping out of helicopters, right?
Yeah, repelled. You had to do
Repel.
more. There was more to it. You did, the formations, setting up an LZ, sling
Okay.
loading. It really everything involved with a helicopter.
Oh, nice.
So
And yeah, but that was sweet.
yeah, it was. It took me out of my comfort zone because I'm scared to death of heights.
Yeah.
But that's what the military does too, right?
Yeah.
Takes you out of your comfort, makes you.
Makes you comfortable.
Yeah, man, it makes you uncomfortable, but you gotta.
Oh,
Always too hard, man.
that was a good shot though.
It's hard to read that.
Yeah.
Just gotta.
Oh, that one got pushed right away.
Oh, there you go, though.
All right.
It's right there.
Let's see if I can, based on what I just saw, another one. Go in. Oh, it doesn't pull us. I thought it was gonna pull. It's like straight at it.
Pretty straight on, yeah.
Yes. Yes!
There we go.
Let's go! All right, 2 for 2. We're hitting par right now.
It was down when I was at Fort Camp. We did air assault. We went to Virginia and trained with the Marines.
Okay.
Do the landing, go over the side and.
Oh,
and
that's
go in.
cool.
And yeah, we spent the night on a ship, and then the next day we got up and went in and stormed the beach type thing.
That's cool.
I
That
went
is
to
cool.
NBC Defense School
Well, we
while I was
never.
there.
Did they like cut the budget then for like Army after that, or?
No, that was after. This was just building up because I went in '79 and Reagan came in, right?
Okay.
So, like when air assault school, the Blackhawks, M1s, and what was it? The I guess it was the Bradley.
Okay.
They all that's when they started putting money into it. So now this new stuff was coming
Right,
in.
because still we're talking about like the Cold War, so like we have
Yeah.
the, like in yeah.
And but we had like World War II stuff, Vietnam
Oh, yeah.
stuff. You know what I mean? For
Yeah.
to begin with, we had the plain green uniform when I went in,
Okay.
and they changed that. They come out with the BDUs after I was in.
Okay.
Yeah, that was we're in a transition there. It was later on when they started cutting back,
Okay.
but they were building up. So
Yeah. So you had how many uniform changes? You had the just Vietnam green, the BDUs.
BDUs, and then
You had probably the desert camo, the DCUs when you were in Iraq the first time.
the first time, yep. And what they had after the BDUs, they had come up with something else, a different pattern. So DCUs, yeah, I don't know.
ACUs.
Then we went to ACU, so it was probably my whole time, probably 4 or 5 different uniform
Yeah.
changes.
Nice.
Plus, we had the dress greens when I first went in, and they go to the
Oh yeah.
dress blues, and
You had some dress blues. I think I only had the greens.
I had to buy
Oh, you had to buy them still.
because of AGR, so I had
Yeah.
that last. I bought them.
This is a par 5 on this one.
496 yards.
Yeah, so it's drivable for you, I think, right?
He's been getting all the big shots.
I know, right?
If
No
somebody
pressure.
puts it in the fairway, I'll see about letting the big dog eat.
I hope you get. Yeah, I haven't been able to put anything in the fairway yet, so let's find out. All right.
There we
Second
go.
shot.
Yeah, they said they still had money. Like I said, we weren't training, went to school. We went to Puerto Rico training.
Oh yeah, nice.
So it was,
Legit.
it wasn't like in a guard, you just go to Grayling every time. And
Okay, well that's one hit. At least it puts us out there.
Well, I try to let the big dog eat early.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like
still rolling.
it's still going. Oh, cart path.
It's going down the cart path.
Nice. Okay.
It's
My-
further than what you think it did.
My problem, because we weren't a combat unit, was that I shot well enough to always pass, but I never got extra training, and we didn't do extra training because we just didn't have the budget for it.
National Guard. This is my first experience with the National Guard when I was at Fort Campbell. I've just
Oh, yeah.
thought of this. we were doing float bridge training, and we had the Tennessee National Guard was out there, and so we're going building this bridge and stuff, and then 5 o'clock these guys broke out the lawn chairs and beer.
Yeah.
And they sit there and watch us build this bridge. Seriously, that was my first experience with National Guard.
That was my first experience with the National Guard. It's so funny. No, my first drill that I was with the unit, it was at Battle Creek, and so everyone gets there, we get off, everyone's like busting out like kegs and video games and stuff. I was like, what is happening? Because I'm still in high school.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So that was my like the work hard, play hard. People are puking in formation the next morning. Yeah.
They really like to pick on the green soldiers too, because when you're either fresh out of basic or you're just right before and you don't know anything, you go into a National Guard office and they're like, stand at parade, rest when you're talking to me. And you're like, oh. He's like, no, I'm just giving you crap. Just,
Yeah.
just to like pick on you just a little bit. Welcome to the unit.
Yeah. Yeah, those are fun. Did you go from engineer to engineer in the Guard and then they reclassed you to driver?
Well, when I got back, I got out of active duty. Then I was out for 2 or 3 years. Actually, I was trying to go back into active duty. And this is when they started cutting down.
Oh, okay.
They said, no, we're not taking any prior service. So that's when it was like later in the 80s.
Okay.
And so then I ended up going to the Guard because I kind of missed it. So I'm going to Guard, and we were still engineers, but it was a bridge unit.
Okay.
It was strictly bridge, like right Wyoming.
Is that the 1032nd?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
But it was the 63rd. It was actually became the 63rd.
Yes. You're one of like the OGs of the 63rd.
Yeah, but that's what I was there for probably about 3 years, and then I got divorced, and then I worked at the paper mill in Plainville there 7 days a week, and so I had my kids.
Yeah.
So I got out of the Guard then. And then when I went back in after 9/11 is when I went back in. So I was out for like 10 years, and then 9/11 happened and I went back in. And that's when they said, oh, you got a transportation unit in Battle Creek.
Okay.
I said, okay, that's fine. Battle Creek is close to where I was at. So that's when I become transportation. And then that was with a 62nd.
Yep.
It was a detachment in Battle Creek. And then they moved us, then they pulled the detachment and went back to Howell.
Yeah.
And that's like, 2-3 hours for me driving. And then that's when the 63rd became the 60th. They switched over from engineers to transportation. So I transferred over there because it's closer to home.
Okay.
So that's how I ended up in the 63rd.
Nice.
And then I went back to the 62nd to go to Iraq. I volunteered to go back with the 62nd.
You did? Okay.
James, do you remember our recruiter's name?
Oh, man. If you told me his name, I would remember.
Was it Staff Sergeant Bloy?
Stafford.
Stafford?
Mine was Stafford, but you might have had Bloy.
That was Bloy.
Yep.
Stafford just retired a few years ago.
Did he?
Yeah. Like a couple of 3 years ago, I think.
Nice. I have no hard feelings against him. I know there's people who have hard feelings against their recruiters. I was just trying to get in, so he didn't really have to sell me on it.
Right?
Didn't have a sweet talk anything.
Yeah.
No, that's the same thing with me. I just went there and told him what I wanted to do, and I want to go in and I want to do it.
Yeah, you want to be a truck driver? I said, okay. Sure. I like driving.
Yeah. It's funny, I was split up. So I was 17. So I signed up maybe 20 days after my 17th birthday. And the first one I wanted to be a chaplain. And like, you can't do that. You have to have like a degree and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, then I want to be infantry. And my mom at that time, your parent has to sign off. She's like, you're not being infantry. And I was like, okay, just what gives me the biggest bonus then? It was truck driver. But, and she thought, I think at the time, she's like, oh, truck driver is a safe, because, we're going into Iraq. Like, I'm signing my paperwork when we're doing shock and awe in Iraq. And so she's like, oh, transportation's safe. It's close, 1463 is close to home. We're going to sign there. And then Iraq happened. And like, we were one of the biggest targets out there. Playable. A little bit to the right, but okay. I think we can let the big dog eat on this next one after.
God.
Yeah, that's interesting. You have a good swing. I might get a membership bounce.
We made it through.
Oh no, yeah, I made it through. So we've got a decision to make. Yeah, I mean that last hole, like you hit 2 of our shots to get par. So you are definitely contributing.
Well, it's nice with it, like I said, the scramble thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like I just couldn't do it with anybody serious.
Yes,
You know.
I agree. Same.
Well, how's Dietrich do?
He's good.
he
Him
good?
and I are probably about the same.
Yeah.
We'll go back and forth on, it just depends on who's having a better day, but we play about the same. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, see how it goes and then do it again?
Yeah. Because now we're hitting downhill, so that's going to be...
Yeah, that's kind of how you would,
That's what I was thinking.
yeah, playable spot. So downhill, I'm going to grip down a little bit. And then probably I think I want to put it more of the front. I could be wrong. I'm going to put it more in the front of my stance.
Oh, nice. You really smacked that. That's what I wanted. And stay down on it, because you're going downhill.
That's great. That, to me, that would be a great shot because now you're in a playable lie.
Yeah.
So I would be happy with that one.
Yeah, but as you're talking, you're down.
Yeah.
You're right. Perfect, right lined up.
That's why it's a team. This is teamwork. So I'm happy with that. That's a good one. Nice little membership bounce.
Oh.
You made it back into the guard. You, after 9/11, came in, got reclassed as a truck driver, and then now we're at your first tour in Iraq with the 62nd. What base did you guys get assigned to?
Anaconda.
Anaconda. And when did you? Balad, yeah. You got, and that's a nice base. Was it nice when you guys got in, or were they still updating it?
It was still, it's still fairly new. Lots of things were going on. We were in tents
Okay.
to start out with, and they eventually got the trailers and stuff. But and they were building. First got there, we had to walk quite a ways to the cafeteria.
Yeah.
And then they built another one. Yeah. So it was progressing as longer we were there, the more they got, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and you guys arrived probably early in 04?
March, April.
Okay.
March, April. I think we got it. Well, we got into Kuwait in March, and then I think it might have been. It was April when we went into started moving up to Iraq.
Okay. And then yeah, we overlapped a little bit. It was always fun seeing you guys on the road.
Yeah. Well, I was seeing you guys. I was down in Kuwait when you guys got there.
Yeah.
They it was about December. They sent me down to Kuwait to be a liaison for the incoming units.
Oh, okay.
For the battalion.
Okay. Yeah, because you had quite an experience. Yeah. Yep.
Like I said, I forgot. There's something that's kind of important.
Oh yeah.
My son had died in August, and then they called me in October and wanted to know if I wanted to volunteer for the 62nd to go to Iraq.
Okay.
So that kind of plays. And talked over with my wife, or she was Cheryl at the time.
Yeah.
My second one. But it was pretty. That's the reason I joined, right?
Yeah.
So she was pretty upset, but
Yeah.
and so
That's hard.
that plays a little bit into some of the. And then went to Iraq, and then November my mom passed away.
Oh man.
So I had to come back. I come back home for that. But that's just a couple of kind of set up some of the what's my mindset for here. So that's. And then getting hit a lot.
Yeah.
Stuff.
How many times?
Like 5 times.
5 times? That's insane. The chances of getting hit once is pretty, it's kind of rare, but to get it done 5 times.
Four IEDs, I think, and then, a landmine, an anti-tank mine.
Oh man.
That's the one that really destroyed the truck. And remember Thomas?
Yeah.
Remember Thomas? He was my A driver.
The young one, right? Because he had his dad.
He had his dad was there too. Your dad went. His dad went with you guys,
and he got hit once too. His truck.
Yeah. So I mean, that was a hell of a one.
Was it?
Hit that anti-tank mine, and then I passed out, and then I kind of woke in just for a little bit, kind of blacked out. But then he's laying on my lap. I thought he was dead because he was just laying there because I hit it on the right side. So, but anyway, it's just some of the things that played in, lose my son, and then my wife's grandmother died in February. She was at our house. My wife was taking care of her, and then my mom died in November, and so that was quite a year. And,
wow.
And then when I get to Iraq and we start getting into the shit, I'm like, what did I do to my, my family?
Yeah, because at that time they weren't really hitting the trucks very hard.
Well, they did. That's when we got there right when uprising started.
And
that's when it was and if you see it, it's on. You get YouTube or you go to transportation. Fort Eustis.
Okay.
They got a video on it. They did it was our battalion, but it was the Army Reserve unit that got hit really hard, and they lost like 5 people or something.
That's wild.
But it's our battalion. You can see our trucks in there and stuff, and they're in our motor pool and see our trucks. But that's a really good if you see that. And that was like the hardest. They were trying to cut off this fuel supply to get the thing shut down, so it was like drastic trying to get materials and stuff around at the time.
Yeah.
So it was the heaviest time for transportation. That during that period.
Yep. And I heard that there were I had heard that there were a lot of units that refused to go out on fuel missions. They started
They had one when I was there. They had they were from Mississippi, National Guard. The Black Cats, and they had one unit refused to go out because of the equipment. I mean, they had like deuce and halves and stuff there.
Yeah.
They had old ass shit.
Right.
And they refused to go out, and there was a big stink about that.
Yeah. Did you guys have up armored? Because I know when we got in there, we welded stuff to our trucks.
We bolted on. Some of them didn't have anything, but we did like the hillbilly armor.
Yeah.
And the Humvees, they did those in Kuwait. They did the slap-on ones in Kuwait. That still wasn't much of an armor.
Yeah.
It was better than nothing. But yeah, we didn't.
That's wild.
We have some guy worked at GM, the machinist. He had some steel plates made up to took with us and bolted them on. Yeah, we didn't have. You couldn't say it was armor.
Man,
it was what we could do.
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Are you comfortable with talking about those different experiences getting hit, or do you want to just let it be?
No, I mean it's. I mean, not. It was they're scary. You get out on the road, you got to pull up to that gate, and it's like the old cowboy Indian thing. Remember the cavalry? They get to the gate and they open up the gates and let them out. And it's almost like that. Now you're in Indian territory, right?
Right.
You like hold your breath for 3-4 hours till you get to the other place.
Yeah.
But it was pretty stressful.
Yeah, I bet. Okay.
And you know that you guys were there.
Yeah, it was. Did you ever get to the point where? Well, I mean, you got hit we didn't get hit as much as other units were getting hit. I think we just looked really aggressive. That's my take, because every other truck had a crew served weapon, and but you would hear stories of units coming in and then they're basically decimated within the first month, and I don't know how much of that is real and how much is stories, but like, did you ever come to a place where you felt more invincible? Like you just kind of accepted your death? And
I don't know. It was like every time I say, once you got out that gate, right, you're just like, and you're vulnerable. Being in a truck, what if we like had to stop or something, you
Yeah.
get down on the ground, I'm like, okay, bring it on, right? Because
Yeah.
you feel, but being in that truck was just, you're so
Yeah.
vulnerable,
Yeah.
man. And that's just what the bad, and then we, had to open windows and stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and like, man, don't hit me in the, I don't want to get hit in the face.
Right.
Or, I mean, that's kind of stupid, right? But I mean, it's like, but we were hit, we averaged out, like every other time, like, so about 50% of our missions
Wow.
we got hit.
Were you guys doing fuel missions mostly, or
No, we were hauling, mostly hauling just whatever.
they're just waiting for you guys?
But we had to escort one time down to, where were you guys at?
Taji.
Taji.
Yeah.
So we had to escort, we did like an escort down to, with fuel trucks down to Taji one time.
And that's only like 45-minute drive, right?
Yeah, it wasn't a bad drive. It was
Yeah.
a quick, I mean, that was a quick trip.
Yeah.
But it was the fuel and stuff, be like, okay, we got the fuel, that's what they're looking for. But
Yeah.
they're hitting it, they were hitting anything, right? It didn't matter what it's
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's see. It kind of looks a little downhill, so I'm going to try to, my goal is to put it maybe kind of halfway through and let it roll, but we'll see what happens. Oh, that's too hard. Okay.
Halfway, but
That might not. Okay. You need one more, right? Yeah, here you go.
I got
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, that's rolling. Yeah.
yeah, then it's too far.
Might be our best shot.
careful on my
Putter.
approach shots.
It's not the shot.
You didn't even have to try.
Nice. I like that shot. That's definitely closer.
Probably should have. There you go.
That's still not bad.
Yep.
Go, 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 go,
Look
go,
at
go,
that.
go, go. Oh! Ho, ho! All right, tap that in. I think we got a bogey on this one then. And we'll just I think it's a 1 or a 2 person. We'll just let them go play through. Because I'm enjoying chatting. Is that okay?
I'm retired, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is what enjoy, just being
Yeah,
out here
just
with you
having a good
guys
time.
and stuff makes a difference. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and I like that. I was just with Josh last year, and we were just golfing here, and we just were having some really good conversations.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Like, I want to start taking my veteran friends out and just like having these conversations and just like connecting and having a good time. What was that like, being on the inside of a blast?
Well, it wasn't as bad because of like when it happened. It's just just a I mean, that's the other thing. You're training or whatever, it kicks
Yeah.
in. It's really surprising. You know what I mean? It just like then
Muscle memory kicks in, but then the processing happens after.
afterwards,
Yeah.
and it's like, damn,
Yeah.
that was scary, right?
Yeah.
And but we got hit so many times. Like once, if we went like a couple missions not getting hit, and then okay, we're gonna get hit because
Your
it's
numbers up.
it happened. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like then you get hit, and like okay, it's over. We made it. It's good. We're good, right? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's weird. I mean, not trying to be all macho. It's not nothing macho about it all, but
It's just like this statistical. Okay, this
yeah,
is going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
We made it through.
And so yeah, when you just get hit, it's just like a blur, and you just react and keep going or whatever
Yeah.
if you can. And
You remember that feeling, but not always processing visually what's happening.
yeah, it was like slow motion, right? It was like when I hit that anti-tank light and everything, I was like no sound, just stuff was slow motion, like the glass and smoke and stuff was just But I was reaching down for the radio. I'm trying to call but it blew off the battery box.
Oh man.
You know, and that side of it blew all that off. And I'm trying to get the radio and call and stuff, and you seen sparks and glass and slow motion. And,
Wow.
and then so yeah, I mean that's not funny, but it's funny.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
yeah, for sure.
You're looking back. At
Did
it.
you have any moments where you're like, oh, this was a miracle?
The anti-tank mine was, yeah, because I was like shook up, right? And even when I got out, still took a minute, but then looked at the truck and like, holy shit. And it just caught, and the thing of it was, I was towards the back of the convoy and they had us, the road is blocked off, they were just laid concrete. And so we had to go off and go around it. And being an engineer, I should have known better. This is obviously a perfect place to,
Right.
you know, for an ambush or whatever. But anyway, I went off and everybody else made it through, but we just made it far enough. But the blast, you know, the blast always goes up and out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was just on the edge, and so most of it just blew out this way. It blew the tire off and the hub, everything got blown off. The front end radiator was totaled.
Whoa.
But if we would have hit it more solid, that would have come right back up, and for sure Thomas would have been killed, if not both of us, you know.
Man.
But we just got lucky enough to just enough to hit that pressure plate and set that son of a bitch off, man.
Wow.
And then it was like, you know, it was all desert around. Like, what the hell? Somebody's, you know, somebody trying to kill you here, you know. But yeah, that was probably the closest that I really felt. Well, that was kind of more after, I don't know. But
Yeah.
then we got into an ambush, a classic ambush where they set off an IED on this side. It was right the truck in front of us. The IED went off. Of course, you know, all that dust goes up. You can't see anything, right?
Yep.
So we drive through, come out the dust, and here's all these tracers coming from the right side. You know, they were set up here, said IED
Yep.
here, and they're
So
on this
push it
side.
to
So
down,
all these,
yeah.
we're just fire, and then the truck, just as I caught out of corner of my eye.
Right.
Yeah, the truck ahead of us that hit that IED. They're over on the side, but we already passed. You know how you just, so we couldn't get stopped fast enough,
Right.
and we were about in the middle. And then that was just the firing kept going on. We got out of the kill zone and got up into, you know, made a perimeter or whatever.
Okay.
Then they had to go back in and get the people back from the truck,
Oh dang.
and they were wounded. Both of them were wounded. It was the girl driving, and she had shrapnel on her arm, up underneath her vest, her side of her face had shrapnel.
Oh man.
And the A driver got right in here,
Oof.
shrapnel right in his thigh. He thought he lost his shit. He was all worried about, oh my God,
I bet.
lost him. And then, Johnson, he was his A driver. He just reached down there. No, you're still there, man. So he goes, oh, he was relieved, you know. But then we got back to that collection point, and she was crying for her mom. She didn't want to die, you know. She was just, it was dark. It was at night, right? And it was just real eerie.
Yeah.
And then one of our civilian truck drivers, he got wounded. He got shrapnel in the arm and stuff. But we were working on him. He was just patching him up, getting him in an IV and stuff. You know, he wasn't really bad, but you know. And shooting was going on, still going on.
Was that like a? That wasn't just a U.S. military mission. Then you had a mix between.
Yeah, that's when we had civilian contractors with us too.
And to me, those were the worst missions, some of the worst, because like you had less support in between trucks.
Yeah.
So if you got hit, then you don't know when your next like gun support was gonna.
Well, when we first got there too, we had to put a shooter in with us. That civilian guy.
Oh really?
We have a shooter, and then battalion commander said, "Well, you know what? That's bullshit." He said, "You know, I'm not going to do that." So then when they did run with us, they ran without a shooter.
Yeah.
But that night too, our truck got hit. We took small arms fire, and took out our radiator and our two front tires, and it went into with a turbine or something. Where the mechanics are pulling apart of the turbine, there was a bullet in the turbine.
Oh, no kidding.
And it was coming would have come right into the cab, but because we took it from the front, kind of like the angle from the front. And so we had two flat tires, so we had to ride with somebody else, and they towed the truck back.
Man, that sounds like just like a hellish mission.
Well, and the guys that went back in on the gun trucks, remember Nowak?
Yeah.
he was one of them. I think he was the gunner or something too, but he was a medic too. I mean, in civilian life is a medic too, but so he had his thing.
Sure.
So the gun truck went back in to pull the other people out.
Yeah.
And they were getting, shot at when we were trying to get them guys out. Yeah, that was the craziest time. That was the worst ambush that we had. I mean, that was like a classic. What?
Yeah, our ambushes didn't last too long, because I mean we had a 50 cal Mark 19 and then an M60, like on.
Up armor, a lot of it was tanked off.
Well, yeah, but we didn't. Yeah, like I guess we didn't have up armor until like probably a few months in.
I guess maybe I didn't experience an ambush.
Oh no.
We never stopped enough unless it was a disabled vehicle.
Right.
IED.
Yeah. No, I was on like I was on a couple missions where like I was like rear gun, and by the time I got to the kill zone, everything was already taken care of.
Yeah.
So it's just like they didn't last. We didn't have as complex of ambushes as you guys. We were probably we weren't hauling fuel though either, so probably less of a target.
Yeah, but we didn't have fuel either. I mean, we didn't have fuel trucks either. But this was at the point they were hit the high point, right at the uprising. What's his name? Can't think of his. They had a name for it. His.
No, that's you, James.
Oh no, yeah, that was
I can't even think of it now. But this cleric over, his followers. I mean, they said they were wearing the black and green or something. If you seen them, shoot to kill. You didn't have to. They were shoot them.
Warning shots.
Yeah, just shoot them. And that was down further. For a lot of that was down further from us, but they were, hitting wherever. Right. And there was a lot of ambushes. And of course, the other platoons. I mean, we were in the platoon I was in. Perkins and I were in the same platoon, but the other platoons were getting hit too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was like, Farland, one of the guys. Remember Garcia, female? Mm-hmm. Remember her? She was in the truck. Her and Farland, they got hit with the IED, and Farland lost his eye.
Oh man.
And she got it in her ear, I think. Some shrapnel in her ear, something. Dang. Pierced her ear. Kind of like what happened to
Sattler.
Yeah,
with her nose. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's this. She got it in the nose.
Yeah.
And Sattler got what in the ear, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the funny thing too with that one. It was the IED had the copper plate on top, so the molten copper that gets thrown.
Yeah.
I think they either hit a bump or the brakes, but it threw. I think it was Thomas forward far enough to throw his head up, and it went right past his head. Yeah.
There's what happened too. It wasn't in our unit. It was another unit in the battalion. It's pretty much the same thing. The driver, he was the Humvee, and they hit ID, and he caught shrapnel in the arm, and the other piece of shrapnel went over and hit his A driver, took his face right off. So I mean, the odds. I mean, why? You know what I mean? There's no rhyme or reason like who got hit or killed or wounded, or it's just grace of God, or it's your numbers up, or
Yeah.
Well, it's a short one.
Yep, bar 3. Being behind Sattler was your first, yeah, and I was right behind you. So from my view, I had seen Eli's truck blow up. Normally they try to keep us on separate parts of the convoys because of the Saving Private Ryan stuff.
Yeah, you weren't. Yeah,
we weren't supposed to be especially in the same truck. But we had in this convoy we were right behind each other. I was right behind him, and so when the IED went off to me and to Sprague was my driver. It was Eli's truck just got engulfed in the blast, and so for the longest time I'm like, that's my brother's truck, but I'm on the gun, so it's like I'm prepared for any ambush or anything like that, and the rules of engagement were hard because there was a guy on the other side of the road with his card spotting for this IED, and it's it's him, but you can't do anything about it.
Report it, and then hopefully they pick them up. But if they're not actively shooting at you, can't shoot back.
Right.
if they're brandishing something, that's kind of, they say it's their norm.
Well,
They're allowed to
yeah,
have an
yeah.
AK.
So like halfway
Yeah.
through, I think our rules of engagement, the rules of engagement kept changing. Here, let's do a spin. But it's like sometimes if you see a weapon, you could shoot, but like other times you have to wait until it's pointed at you first, or or sometimes it was like they have to shoot at you first and then you can respond.
Yeah.
So.
Or, yeah.
Yes, all right. Yeah.
Or if you do a warning shot, it better not be anywhere. It better be in their vicinity, but also like
Yeah, sometimes your warning shots have to be in the ground, other times it's in the air.
over their head.
Yeah. All right, so about 150-ish guys. Let's see if that's true. Oh, chunked it.
So you guys going with the iron then, huh?
Well, it's closer. Membership bounce? No membership bounce. Okay.
I seen the stick drop.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It's our best shot right now.
I'm not.
Let's see if I can get a decent one out here, guys. That'll play fine.
Sound good.
Yep, just on to the right side. So this one might be a more of a vulnerable question, but like, I mean, especially for you coming home, how was that transition? Because it sounds like you've seen a lot at war, and then you experienced a lot of loss, like leading up to it.
Well, when we got back to, we mobed out of Fort McCoy. That's where we went back to. And so I had herniated disc in my neck and torn rotator cuff. So once, we did all our medical and stuff up there and went back, and then I had to go back up there for, I had physical therapy. We got there in March, and I was come home in June, I think. So I had like 3 months of physical therapy.
Okay.
So I spent time up there, kind of unwind a little bit, right? So that kind of, there's other people there that, they at the time, that's what they were doing. You get your stuff done there.
Okay.
And it was like Gessler was there, and I don't know if you know Valenzuela or not. Probably not. He was
I
from
think
a
I've
different
heard the
unit. He
name,
went with us,
yeah.
but Gessler, Chase was up there. Valenzuela, Bolter was there for a while. I didn't remember her. I think she went to stayed with the 62nd, but she was from the 63rd for a long time. But there were people up, we were there. Pitsley, he was from the 62nd. There was people there, but you just went to the, doctor appointments and pretty much, they had formation, I think, in the mornings. And after that, you pretty much, you go to your doctor, check and make sure you go to your doctor and make your appointments and all that stuff. So we were up there for a while. Okay. So kind of wound down, but yeah, I think you probably asked my wife about it. I didn't think I was really that bad, but there was a lot of anger.
Oh, sure.
A lot of,
yeah.
It's hard to adjust back to civilian stuff.
Yeah. And you didn't go, did you go right into the AGR?
No, it was a while after that. I think it was the next year.
Okay.
It was in a year period. I don't even remember, but it was, so we got back in 05, and then I think I started in 06 for AGR.
Okay.
So.
Did you ever get into this, oh man, I wish I was back in Iraq?
No, I don't think so. But
yeah.
I don't know. They say, you wish you were there, then you were back, but it was kind of, you miss the camaraderie, you miss the being with people and stuff like that, I don't know, we got, sort of. I guess I did and didn't, you know what I mean?
Sure.
I always felt, okay, I got out alive and shit. I got all this shit.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So, but it was still, you had a hard time, not being with everybody and stuff.
Right. Well, it's a hyper social atmosphere.
Yeah.
And so you go from
feeling normal to not feeling normal.
Well, being around people all the time and then having
well,
different.
then being around civilians,
Yeah.
it's like, holy, you know, you get pissed because what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know?
Or they're mad at something. You're like, that's really trivial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, shut the fuck up.
Right.
What are you complaining
Yeah.
about?
What are you complaining
I
about?
come home on leave like in July or something. That's after I got hit that mine and stuff. And like, you know, we have been gone since December, January. Anyway, so I get back and I'm home on leave and stuff, you know, and people are like, hey, how you doing? What you been up to and stuff? I'm like,
That was a crazy thing for me. Is like,
what do you say, man? I mean, like,
yeah.
I've been in Iraq. What the fuck you think?
Yeah, that was a crazy thing for me to realize is like, oh, like life moved on for everybody. Like to me, like life stopped.
Right.
But for everyone else, we just continue, like we go through our life. That's.
I think you said something.
You know, that I probably, yeah, that would have been awesome.
It rolls in.
There you go.
Nice. That's a good one.
Okay. There you go.
Right.
Hit the pole. Oh.
Oh, see it.
I'm getting my house ready. It's all just happened so fast.
It's rolling.
That's a good line too.
Yeah.
Way better than what I did. Kind of self-taught. Ooh, that's even
There you go.
Oh!
Look at that.
I'm gonna block the camera.
Well, it's still rolled. It's a little better, but this is for par. I've practiced this shot 100 times. This green, it's dead on, but this green feels like it's leaning. Maybe that's only because I'm wearing one shoe, maybe.
You might be able to
Happy Gilmore.
push it through and just aim for like the right of the, or the left of the cup. Or just that.
Which one, right or left?
I was gonna say.
If you're able to push it through and just
I think it's to the right, no?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
That's when he said
Yeah.
left. I was going, wait a minute.
wait, with my left or my right.
You're.
Oh man, nice shot.
Ooh. Oh, pulled it or something.
Oh, try and tap yours in.
God.
Oh. Just drip it in there, right?
Drip it.
Oh, I pulled it. No!
Another one.
And okay. Well, so that's another bogey. Can I be honest though? This is a good game. This is a good round for me. like I'm happy with the way we're scoring.
Yeah, I'm still, even till today, my civilians kind of drive me crazy.
Oh yeah. What's kind of the thing that gets you the most?
People being lazy.
Okay.
Like in their work, they only do the minimum or whatever.
Sure.
Shit, you know, like I'm.
It's kind of like an entitlement feeling.
Yeah, or they're just, you know, you half-ass it or something. And,
Yeah.
Or they complain about silly shit.
Right. Lack of perspective. I think we have it a lot better than what we really realize it.
Well, it's never, in my mind, it's never about like the money or the time. I'm like, you know, military 24/7, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you ain't getting paid anymore. You ain't getting any time off. I mean, you get your 30 days or whatever, but you don't, you know, oh, if I put in extra, you know, if I work 12 hours today or 15 hours, I'll have to, you know,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, don't give me this, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get it.
That's just what irritates the shit. I always felt I gave all, you know, 100%.
Right. There we go.
I don't know. I gotta make a fool of myself twice. God.
Hey,
I'm
it's getting
catching-
better though. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, see?
All right. All right. Go. Membership bounce. Let's go. See it? It's right in the fairway.
Oh, Jesus.
You're making better connection though.
I did. I didn't hit the ground.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, look at that. Right in line.
All
Look at
right.
that.
Cool. Timing, like when your arms are coming through with your hips. There. Oh!
Oh man, you guys.
Sit. I think I like that better. But it's just right off the fringe though.
Okay,
That's not bad.
I got a hold of it.
Yep. That's not bad.
Yep.
That's okay. You spent some time. Do you want to talk about the second deployment at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
That's-
one, we got reclassed to kind of MPs, right?
Yep.
And we did detainee ops.
Yep.
What was your experience like for that?
Sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, just because, well, I was in the TOC, right? So
Yeah.
we had to run the TOC, but I went on one convoy with, and I'm trying to think who was, it was,
Was Rusticus on that one?
no,
No.
it was, Jesus. Give me some names, man.
Who would have gone out?
His wife's married to Dietrich's sister.
Oh, Kenny. Kenny went out?
I think it was Kenny,
Oh,
the
okay.
one that was driving. I'm pretty sure it was him.
I didn't know that.
I think it was him. And I was like all nervous and shit, man, when I was getting ready to go out, right, from my experience from before. Like, man, what the hell?
Yeah, right.
And so, and then, you know, I'm all jacked up and stuff, you know, and then we get out there to get to, nothing there. On the way back, I fell asleep on the way
nice.
back. I was a driver.
No,
I was
man.
just like, oh, this ain't, it's so relaxed, but, and then the whole time on the, that 1 square mile, and,
Yeah.
I was working the night shift on the thing. And
Oh, were you?
most
On
of
like
the
on
time,
compound
they
6?
switched me
at the
over to
TOC?
days at the TOC, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't really feel like, I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Definitely a different experience, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, the good part, we weren't getting mortared or
Right.
all that stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Anaconda, we always getting hit with rockets
Yep.
and mortars and stuff. But
It's all good.
but I mean, I'm not complaining about it. It was just boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. You guys were over the detain. I mean, that sucked. You guys were, back and forth all the time, doing that stuff. But were you in there was 2 different
I
ones.
had the
One-
TIFRIC, so I did detainee payroll.
Okay. so,
Eli
yeah.
was in the compound 6.
Yeah, so there was a difference there. I know there was
Yeah.
some friction there with
There was a
the
little bit.
guys like, oh, I can. But First Sergeant was going to swap out, and Sergeant Merriweather said no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he wanted to switch him,
Okay.
and Merriweather didn't want to do it. So, which, you guys had a little bit more going on in that, and the talk could obviously be pretty boring at times.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more specialized. Not that anybody can anybody could do it. It just took a little bit of extra training, just for some things. But yeah, I think for a lot, it wasn't bad, because we didn't have to always be on. Like doing guard duty is tough because you always have to be on.
Yeah.
And it's 12-hour shifts. Like we did 12 hours, but it's like you could relax a little bit. But like when you're doing guard duty and you're just always on, you're always on alert. It's just like, it's really tough.
Right.
All right, here we go. Might be too long. Oh, no, I think that'll be okay.
I think it'll definitely be okay.
Look at you.
I think that'll ride though. Yeah, that pushed well. Nice. Let's go.
Yeah, it's just gonna. Yep, and I hit it too hard.
That's all right. You got one more?
Oh my God.
That's not
I
bad.
just got that little hump
Yep,
there.
right at the end. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm jumpy too when stuff happens like that.
Yeah.
If somebody touches me or something, it's weird. I'm still jumpy, especially loud noises.
Oh,
Definitely.
okay. I was gonna say, do you find yourself, because you probably experienced some TBI then too with the concussions, right?
They didn't even have that 1 week. They didn't even
Scream.
That wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Thomas got knocked out. He got a concussion and stuff. He got a Purple Heart. That when I hit that landmine.
Oh yeah.
He was totally knocked out. I was out
that-
for a little bit, a little dizzy, but we went when we got hit. The commander would make go down into the aid station and then get checked out.
Right.
Well, they would give me steroids because my eardrums were swelled up and stuff.
Okay.
So and then they'd look you over. Oh, you're all right.
And then nothing else. Yeah. That's hard. That's hard because it's like, also at the same time, like at least for me, I had a driver roll my truck on one of the missions, and so I had to go to the aid station, and it's like, the question's like, are you good to keep going? And it's like, well, if I say no, then like I'm putting my brother, like I'm going, like it to me is like, then I'm missing out on missions that my brother's on, and like I want to be on those because I want to,
Yeah.
I don't want to just leave.
Well, you
them
want to
hanging.
be in, you want to be in it, right?
Yeah.
So that's the whole reason I volunteered for Iraq and stuff. The first, 9/11. So I told my wife, at 9/11, I'm going back in because there's something going down this time. Before I hadn't been in there. So then when they called me to want to go, I'm like, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
I want to be there, right? So you don't want to. And then when they sent me down to Kuwait, it was like kind of really upset me there.
Oh, did it? Okay.
And
So like you were still like having five or six IEDs, you were just like, I still want to be in this.
yeah, I didn't. I mean, I was obviously, what do you call it? Jumpy.
Yeah.
And then
Sure.
I got back from my mom's. I went on leave, went to my mom's funeral and stuff, and got back from there. And then platoon sergeant said, "Oh, you stay." I think I went on a couple more missions. I think. But then he said, he goes, you take care of stuff back. You do my job back here, and then you don't have to go on the convoys and stuff. And then the lieutenant, our platoon leader, was in the meeting, and they said they're looking for an E7 to go down to Kuwait for the liaison for the battalion, and he sent me down there.
Okay.
And that was like, kind of sucked, you know? It's just me.
Because you were at Arif, John?
What
was the other one?
No.
Ali Osaline?
No,
What were the
they weren't. I don't think they
Virginia.
were there when you guys got there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was Virginia. No, it was still. I don't remember the name of it though. Maybe because you guys were. I come to see you guys, but you were at a different base.
I think we were at Virginia. Yeah.
So I was at the other one, and I think they tore that one down.
Oh,
Virginia,
okay.
They actually.
Okay.
Beering's still open.
Oh, Beering.
Buring, yeah, that's what's open now. That's where we went the second time.
That's all got all the.
That's where we went. Buring.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. This was the one I was at was like you guys. It was a tent city,
Oh, okay.
and then because I come over to that base where you guys were at
Yeah.
and seen you guys.
Man, you guys have some good memories. I do.
Yeah.
I do not.
I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago, but there's sometimes I can pull shit. Remember, like we're trying to figure out names. Remember when we first got here, trying to remember the names and stuff. Like, holy shit.
Oh.
See.
Yes, let's go. When you first got in there, were you always running missions at night, or did you guys switch?
We started we're in the days, and then they switched us over to nights.
Did that seem to have a better impact for you guys' missions?
Yeah, with less traffic, so you don't have to worry about the traffic and
Right.
stuff,
Right.
So it was definitely, but then you're driving in the dark, so you can't see, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Some danger on both ends.
And there's less traffic too, because a lot of traffic you always got to watch out
Right.
too, right?
I hated going on day missions. It just felt, because you're always stuck in traffic.
Always on edge.
Always on edge. Whoa! All right, that'll play.
Yeah.
I'll keep running.
And you talk about rules of engagement earlier. Yeah. There at one point they were talking about taking our 50s from us because it said it
Really?
caused too much damage. And we're like, yeah, no way in hell are you
Yeah.
we're giving up the 50s, right?
That's crazy. Well, that'll still play. Oh, that's probably fine. There you go. I like that.
Yeah, at least it's straight. And I got
Straight.
it down the
Yep,
down the
it's
fairway.
on fairway. Yeah.
Look, now look at this.
Oh, it's coming
Nice.
to the right bit. Get out. Stay out of there.
Is that sand or is that striker?
It's sand, but I think we're safe. How many years after that second deployment were you in until you then retired?
I retired in 2019.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. AGR. Did you stay in that AGR position?
Yeah. Well, 'cause I had 5 years active duty, and then so that counted for
Yep.
you know, and then that first deployment. So I had 6 years. So
Okay.
and I ended up with. Well, they counted when I retired. They gave me a 21 and a half active. I got credit for 21 and a half
yeah.
active, and then 28 total.
Oh, nice. Okay. Did you notice like a big difference between just like guard before GY, guard just after, and then guard when you retired?
Oh yeah. It was like I said. It was so relaxed, so informal and
Yeah.
relaxed. The first time I went to, actually, they were when I first went back in. I forget about this. I was actually going to put me in a signal unit in Kalamazoo, and I got there, and it just wasn't. I didn't think it was my thing. Then I heard about there was engineers in Grand Rapids, and so that's when I switched to Grand
Okay.
Rapids. But the same thing, you get there and there's like no sense of urgency. There's no, like they had a beer machine.
Did they really?
In the field they had it out there, but it was a pop machine. But
Okay.
once we got to back to barracks, they had, the old pop machine, they put beer in it,
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, that's the way it was. That's kind of,
Yeah.
and everybody, well, then too, it was all local. Everybody, they were family, they would work together. They
Yeah.
was from the, actual National Guard type. So everybody knew everybody, and it's local, right? Exactly. That's what the whole National Guard's about. It's supposed to be.
Michigan militia.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got
Minuteman.
called that one time.
What's that?
I think it was a master sergeant called us a Michigan militia one time because we were rolling and not stopping. And we were doing our own thing. And he was like, "You darn Michigan militia," this and that. Because obviously, I don't know if it was. I can't remember if it was our first one. It might have been my third one.
Third mission?
Third deployment.
Oh.
When we were rolling. It might have been even on when Quinn on the green zone.
Oh, yeah.
I think someone wanted someone's head for that one.
Yeah. That was we'll probably tell that story one day.
Ooh. Okay.
I heard it hit. I heard it.
It's on the left side, right before
Right side.
the hill.
In the fairway thing.
Yeah. Yep. Nice. Oh, jeez. All right.
Roll up.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That's okay.
There's no houses, so you're okay.
It's gonna get caught in the trees.
So wish Dietrich would have showed up.
I know.
I'd give
Yeah.
him some shit.
Yeah. This is the time to do it.
I know he ain't working.
He says he's working.
Says
but,
he's working. Yeah, I know.
he's been pretty busy.
Sure he is.
He's got his yeah.
You guys work at the same place?
We do. Yeah.
What do you do? The same thing?
Well, I do more of the numbers. I'm like a number cruncher, and he's more of like on the operations side of things.
Nope, not hard enough.
All right. You want me to give it a whack? I don't know. I've been trying to practice a little bit. So let's see if I can do something here. Oh, too much.
Nice.
It's gonna roll.
Oh.
Nice, okay. Okay.
little-
No expectation here.
It's not bad.
Oh,
That's a
go
good
in
one.
a little bit. Okay. Sweet. Too hard. All right, you can probably put it like right at the.
Nope.
Oh, too hard too, huh?
Oh,
Oh man,
not hard enough.
that was the right. I thought that was the right speed on that. A big shot. Nope.
Oh,
Ooh.
pressure's on.
All
There
right.
you go.
So now that you're retired, you're doing some volunteer work with the. Is it the VFW or?
Yeah, the VFW. We just do, well, I got coming up poppy sales coming up into the month, so
okay.
we do that. But we do the blood drive in Plano there at the township. They have, like every month they have a township, every 6 weeks, isn't it?
Okay.
Seems like it's almost 6 weeks a month. They have a blood drive, so I volunteer to go out there. I give blood, but then I check people in for them and stuff, you know, so I check it in, so we do that.
Okay.
What else did we do? Next week I go down to the Veterans Memorial, and they're going to have the debt crew from the jail come over and clean. They come to the city. They do that to get the guys out. Like they come to the city and rake and pick up whatever they need to do, right?
Okay.
So they're going to come next week to the Veterans Memorial in the park there, and I'm going to go down there and you know, show them what needs to be done and stuff like that. So, and yeah, let's go to the meetings because there's hardly anybody that shows up for meetings.
Oh, missed.
Oops.
Almost hit it.
That's more towards you.
I think it's.
I mean, if I was right here, I'd say it's you.
you still think it's me?
Another flip?
Or do you want? Do you,
His is pointing at you.
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, this guy's going to be on.
Nice. Alright, if he's on, we don't have to hit, right?
Look at
Oh,
Oh, he's not on. I don't know where it went.
oh, it hit the tree. To the left there. Oh, to the right. All right.
you. Got to walk a little bit. My hip gets
Oh, yeah.
stiffened up.
Yep, I
I don't know
hear
if
you.
my hip or it's like right
Your
here.
back, probably. Yeah.
And my back, my lower back is that. But boy,
Yeah.
it'd take coming back from up north. It's like about 4.5
Oh,
hour
yeah.
drive.
Everything just.
Yeah, and I get out and I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like an old man.
Yeah. I've got, because of my, like, got a back injury from Iraq. And then because of that, I have like really bad sciatica.
Yeah.
And so like I thought it was just my legs, but it like pulls all, like because of that, it pulls like all the muscles in your legs, and it feels like you have like leg issues, but it's really just your back.
I went to a chiropractor for that.
Oh yeah, did it help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going to the civilian doctor, physical therapy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not working. So they go to the VA. Oh, physical therapy.
No.
Not working.
No.
So they approved me for go to a chiropractor.
How does that process work with the VA?
They have to like okay it, or you know, refer you to a VA.
Okay.
To the civilian.
The physical therapy has improved so much.
Yeah.
Probably should stay focused, but like from when I first started back in like 05 going to physical therapy to now, it's just like it is totally different. All right, let's see what I got.
That guy just hit his ball.
Nice. Think it's on.
He did hit a ball.
Not hard enough. But it doesn't bounce at all.
Yeah.
too hard, probably. Yep.
Might be good on the other side though. Slow down. There we go.
Bam.
Nice. There we go. Back on that par train.
Is that your ball?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, I'm harder on myself than. That's what I always, I get mad or whatever. I'm mad at myself a lot
Yeah.
of times, right?
Yeah.
And that's just what people, I don't know, especially with Cheryl, I get mad. I've gotten better since I retired,
Yeah.
but I still a little tolerant for, and she likes to talk or whatever, but then it's like, and I don't talk too much.
Yeah.
Obviously today I have been, but because you were asking me questions.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, and she like has to explain stuff like, in the military it's like, do this. You're pretty straightforward
Yeah.
when you're talking to somebody, right?
Right.
Well, she kind of like drags it out more than they should. Get to the point.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my,
Yeah.
that's my still like,
Oh.
and do it now, and that's still catch myself.
Yeah. Yeah, communication is tough. Well, like just the difference in like even not just like male-female communication styles, but just like military versus civilian.
Yeah.
There was a long time where like I came out like I was a little bit too vulgar. I was a pretty vulgar person.
The yellow ball over there.
Is that your target?
That close?
But
PP, the way I swing.
yeah, and so a lot of people are like they like swear and they're like, oh, I hope that's not offensive. I'm like, I was in the military. I've heard no matter what you can say, like I've probably heard worse.
Well, I'm usually pretty good about it, but when you get around military, then you kind of lose it.
Have you been keeping our score?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Like at home or something, I don't, like the F word is like, that's every other word in the military, right?
Yeah, right.
But so, like, I get around other military people and I kind of lets loose or whatever. But
Sure.
At home, I don't do that much swearing unless I get angry.
Yeah. Which is never, right? Because you don't get angry.
No. Well, I said a lot of time I get mad at myself
Yeah.
and I'm just angry. She goes, "Well, I'm sorry." I'm like, I'm talking to myself. I
Yeah.
talk to call myself a dumbass. And,
Yeah.
And you get to that point, it's like, and sometimes she don't understand. You get to that point where you just want to be quiet. You get, it's like Monday. I had to just like, okay, I'm going up north because my head was spinning.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting angry and short. So, I like to be alone too. There's times I like to be alone.
Yeah.
Military is always noise.
Right.
But like you're overseas, right? The generators, the planes, the helicopters,
Being around like 50
people.
guys at once. Yeah.
Yeah. It's there's never a quiet. The
Right.
first deployment, I used to go down to the motor pool and those non-alcoholic beers or whatever, or just go down and just sit on the truck and in the evening and just sit there and to be alone. That's
Yeah.
a lot of times I'd go walk or something, go do something by myself just to be alone.
Yeah.
It's just get some of that quiet time.
Yeah. I never understood it until like as I got older. I'm like, oh yeah, that's really nice.
That's something my wife, she don't understand either. Like, how can you? I used to go when I was divorced. Between divorce and being remarried, I'd go to the movie theater stuff by myself.
Mm-hmm. I did that last night.
Did you?
My wife's traveling. Fell asleep though.
And my wife, how can you do that? Why would you do that? Why did you go by yourself? I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't understand.
What equipment? Is there any equipment that you miss from the military?
Well, the difference between when I was in active and the stuff we got now is unreal. It's unreal.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my buddies that I still stay in touch with. I was in Germany. I said, you would not. The one thing, you would not believe the equipment we got.
Yeah.
It's so much.
Did it get like even better like post like the second deployment, or was that like just GWAT era equipment was better?
Yeah, just from the like the first time we went over there, you know, they issued you the stuff right there on the base, so you could change your boots if they didn't fit or whatever.
Yeah.
And all that gear. Well, that's when it started. The new gear, we started coming in with a black fleece. And
Oh yeah, the black fleeces were so nice.
Old school whoopies are always still wear.
The Whoopies. I've got one. I
poncho
bought one.
liner.
Yeah.
It's a poncho.
Poncho liner.
It's a poncho
I don't know where that whoopie come from, but
Yeah.
when I was in,
That's what
it was a poncho.
Everyone's called them like, okay.
I know that's something new though. It was always poncho.
Poncho.
liner.
It's a poncho liner.
When
is
I was
what
in
it
active
is.
duty, you know, that's what it was. We didn't
Yeah.
actually have them. I didn't get one till. Well, did we have them? When did I get one? We didn't have them at first. This the cold weather gear really makes a difference than
Oh yeah.
what we used to have.
You're fine. Thanks.
Yeah, the Gore-Tex, the new brown boots,
Yeah.
the puffy stuff, the cold weather.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We had wool underwear and no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I love the waffle
We'll do a.
on the thermals.
yeah.
Off to the right a bit. That won't be bad.
Yeah, I seen that one.
Oh.
Hit.
Okay, well, the ball's safe. You get a second one, so that's nice.
You know what?
Not bad.
I'm doing. I wonder if that.
Oh, I lost that one.
Nice. There you go.
Okay.
Yep. I did my retirement physical and stuff, and I did like 18 X-rays.
Oh, yeah.
I'm full of arthritis. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, I figure I was 59 when I retired.
That's wild. Well, I mean, yeah, because most people go straight through, like from when they're like 18, so they're like retiring at 40.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that was the dream until you actually like get into the military. And you're like, I don't know if I can. Anyone who can make it that long, man, I give them kudos. Like, what is the secret to a long career in the military?
Got to be resilient.
Yeah.
I mean, but mine was extent. I mean, okay, 79 to 99.
Yeah.
And it took me to get that 28 years total, but, you know, to get my retirement.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was in and out and, you know, just different things, divorce. The paper mill shut down on us. We went in one day and we're shutting it down.
Oh,
Just
man.
like that.
Oh, man, that's hard.
So then, you know, a lot of life-changing events going on.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I could probably use some butter.
Yeah.
That'd be all right.
Is that a dig at me?
No.
Off to the right.
Oh!
Okay. Nope, off the tail bit. Hey, right with me. You get one more. Nice shot! Let's go! All right, that's fine. That's fine. We got Terry's. Nice.
Right on.
Frustrating.
Yeah. I thought I could get it up there. This is 8.
Yep. So we have one more, and then you completed the interview.
Just look like your
But
wrist
yeah,
right
I would say though, I was gonna say aim more left. All right, so bogey. It's okay. Okay, here we go for our T-spin. Last one. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
Miss ya. Is that me?
You.
That's me again.
We'll give it to you.
Oh no! All right, membership bounce. Not yet. Boom. That will.
This is true.
I was going to hit the tree and bounce
Yeah,
back.
that's what I was hoping for.
That would have worked.
Wait. Oh, but it's gonna go. All right.
Hey, it's still going. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's supposed to, yeah, so that was one thing that always got me, was that like we gave these like, it almost felt like lip service to like the Army values.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that so many times, like what happened, like I really believe that like the leadership, you know, loyalty, duty, respect, honor, you know, and it's just like selfless service and integrity.
That's what the biggest thing in civilian life too. It's all about me,
Yes.
me. You know, it's not about the team or getting the job done. But you got a mission, right? No matter if you're getting paid or whatever. You know, it's all about in the civilian world. It's all about whatever they can do for themselves.
Right.
And there's the people in the military like that too, are selfish,
Sure.
especially at the top.
Yeah. Oh, off the toe.
Got him like a magnet or something. I know,
Yeah, right.
Sitting up in front of it.
There we go. All right, let's put our
Straight in the air.
right up to it.
Oh, right.
Yes!
Up. Oh man, look at. Whoa!
Whoa! Oh! Okay, you made.
Nice.
Okay.
That's why I get that thing up there like that.
Yeah.
I would love to, get the.
Yeah, I think that. Can I tell you though? You've had the same ball from the beginning.
I found it. I think I just got fired because it wanted to leave. I couldn't